Hello YouTube, and welcome back to the channel here today. Today we're going to be watching another couple of episodes of Girls Band Cry. Very excited to be continuing the journey, getting the band together. I was going to say back together, but they haven't even come together yet. Yeah, looking forward to it. It's going to be great. Let's do what I normally do and dive into the YouTube comments first and foremost. As always, if you're a patron and you want to leave a comment or two or three or whatever else, anything for me to bounce off of, opinions, thoughts, feelings, please do. I like to hear from you. It's nice. And just while I'm here and thinking about it, there should be a poll on the channel as well. Should be. If this is public, there should be a poll on the channel. So look at that as well if you're invested in what I react to next, I guess. I don't know why I just felt the need to put that in there, but I did. Either way, continuing here with, or starting here with Ragashingo's comment. I'm not going to read this verbatim, this first section here, because it's essentially anecdotal. It talks to the presence of a certain red balloon in a scene from last week, right? And what that kind of represented and kind of an example of what the show and its production represent overall, I guess. So again, we've highlighted this balloon here, if you see it barely over my camera there. This balloon here is a microcosm of the entire production of Girls Band Cry and going above and beyond. See its physical presence in the space here before it makes a splash during the music video that kind of finishes the episode proper. So just watching it back now, it's already like a fantastically produced sequence, lots of color, dynamic camera movement, animations on point, all this, all that, all everything, all these little faces, all these little expressions, all that kind of stuff. Where again, probably I underanalyzed this last week as well. Looking up and seeing yourself on a big screen projected like that, and this kind of little balloon popping in front of it, and being this kind of, again, cathartic moment. I use that word a lot with this show. During the performance, like again, I see myself up there, I see myself in the lights, I'm gonna say fuck it, I'm wearing this ridiculous outfit, I'm finally singing on stage, I'm finally admitting to it myself that I want to be in a band and I want to pursue this a little bit more, while simultaneously, again, like I keep saying fuck you to the haters. And again, this like little balloon with the tongue poking out there, just popping in front of the screen there is, again, that kind of perfect encapsulation of that feeling, in my opinion, right? Simultaneously small, but also massive, right? Massive like the screen projected behind it, massive like the feelings behind it, but ultimately it's such a small, simple snap decision that's made. It's one small pop that, you know, keeps on expanding. It's like a whole new universe has opened up. And this is another perspective I didn't quite consider on it as well, but again, this kind of microcosm of the entire production type idea, it means that everybody's on the same page, right? We had the writers on the same page, we had the storyboarders on the same page, we had the animators on the same page, CG animators, everybody. Like everybody who worked on this thing knew that this was a central part of the piece that was to be made, right? We have another flourish similar to this as an example here as well. The echoey kind of sound design as the camera is kind of placed inside of the amp, inside of that little hole, I don't know what you'd call it, aux, something like that. Hey, we're in here. Hey, audio team, let's make that a little bit echoey. Let's, you know, give it a little bit of dynamic range, that kind of stuff, right? So yeah, that all contributes to making this crazy combination of really strong animation, really strong CG animation, you know, great expressions, that kind of stuff, along with that kind of almost Kyoto Animation level attention to detail that I'm, again, maybe some of it's missing me a little bit more than it should at the moment. And yeah, continuing to really shout out the facial animation. It's the point of difference here for sure, especially when compared to its CG animation peers. We talked about the whole US market airing debacle last week as well, and what the hell even happened there, and how they fumbled the bag so bad. Again, I've recently kind of polled my Discord as well about what their favorite anime was this year, and more than a couple people said Girls Band Cry. So you're like holding back one of the best shows of the year from everybody else? What are you doing that for? That doesn't make any sense to me. Either way, rounding out the comments here today, we have Pencil Sharp, where I try not to read into comments like this too much, but I tend to, and that goes for a lot of other series on the channel as well. The world is against me can be incredibly empowering to take risks and make things happen, but it can also be a self-fulfilling prophecy that turns minor inconveniences into personal attacks. This clash is, as Momoka puts it, the spirit of rock itself, which this show reflects much more directly than its genre peers. So again, initially I was reading this as potentially a word of warning, a bad omen potentially, but maybe not. Maybe again, this kind of finding a balance between these two, being empowered by that statement, but not letting it become ultimately all too depressing. Again, finding that happy medium is probably the best way to go about through the show and through life in general, I guess. And yeah, that concept's explored quite well through the show thus far, in my opinion, as well. It's kind of fuck everybody, but these specific people who are my bandmates. And where do we find that line between who's a bandmate and who's a person we're saying fuck you to, right? Like, we got to find the people that meet with us on a level and share similar ideas, I guess, and that's where we're kind of finding that happy medium. I don't know, maybe this is just some absolute undiluted yap from me, but I feel like, again, all these people in the band right now have something in common. And again, that commonality is something we should focus on a little bit more than the negative emotions all the time. Potentially. We'll see. Yeah, so that's the YouTube comments for this week. We're going to be diving into episode 4 here. Episodes 4 and 5 back to back. Looking forward to it. What's happening in the show? I think broadly next we may be doing something with Subaru based on the preview, which they're pretty quick previews. I think I watched it last week, and that's what the indicator was. So I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to do like confronting Subaru home life stuff before we bring in these 2 additional members that they're teasing us with quite a bit, and I want to meet them bad. So hopefully we do that sooner rather than later. To be honest, I'm more interested in meeting more people than Subaru's stuff, but again, they could change my mind. But before all that, I should jump in and shout out my patrons. As always, if you wanted the next Girls Band Cry upload 1 week early, Patreon is always there, as well as a couple of other things, as well as double votes in that aforementioned poll. Many people have subscribed to the Patreon, such as Mickey Babbers, Trails++, Akomancer, /Bananarama Hamadama Sama, Bobbin, Chobo Ribby, Dapper Dwarf, Domobot, Ichu, Ed, Fancy Question Mark, Floyd Nightingale, Fried Rice, Fruit, Gloriana Tenebrae, Glyke, Greybeard, Gus N, Ika, Iria, Yako Yavanen, Jacob R, Joran, Kelvin, Clem, Nosta, Cot Begemot, Lasher840, Lou, Master Detective, Max, Mistake L Chen, Mr. Maniacs, Need, Parnick, Pencil Sharp 333, Ragashingo, Ronlad B&K, Saint Lily, Sal, Sam1373, Skeleton, Voeko, Without a Net, Yuan Kai Shu, Yuki Ali, Zach, Binchy, Hans Peter, Marsh, Voodoo Chili, Ice, Nico Lane, and Ron Tiki. Thank you all for giving me money. I enjoy it. And yeah, I've kind of already set us up. Discord if you want to talk to me about the show some more, and like the video and subscribe. All that kind of stuff. Yeah, let's jump into episode 4 of Girls Band Cry right now. Rightio, I have episode 4 of Girls Band Cry up there ready to go. 23 minutes and 57 seconds on this one, so sync up accordingly with your own copy. After last week's debacle, I'm pretty sure this episode's going to work fine. I hope. I'm using the same ones that worked last week, so should be good. But either way, picture in the description below, and I'm using the Eri Raws, which should be very similar to whatever else is out there officially. Just going to give it a 3, 2, 1. Rightio? 3, 2, 1, go. It's Crunchyroll, everyone's favorite. And Toei, everyone's other favorite. We're back. It's Girls Band Cry. Please be excited. Guitar. Yui. Finally, Kaon. Oh, you're going to learn guitar? Oh, yeah, fair enough. You had a guitar on the poster. Yeah, big Kaon vibes for sure right now. Look, she loves it. It's nice to see her happy. Okay, so she got some rapturous applause. Nina. Well, that was just lovely. That was happy-go-lucky, which hasn't really been the show's go as of yet, really, as of late. Okay. Good things can happen sometimes. It's good to be reminded of that. Have you guys seen K-On? You guys should watch K-On. It's a really sweet episode. It's actually the second episode where Yui gets her guitar. It's excellent. It's just peak fiction, really. I'm just gonna keep nerding out about it too. The one scene where she's like kneeling down and looking at the guitar, and then like Mugi kneels down next to her. There's I'm so serious when I say that that scene is better than most shows. I'm so serious. You've got no idea. Anyway, Girls Band Cry. I really want to meet the rest of the gang. I keep saying that. I really do. Mostly because I think they'll be funny. And I like funny people. See, look, they're just cool. Appreciation parentheses surprise. Oh, hell yeah. Momika's pretty multi-talented. What do you mean by that? Sound work is fantastic. Well, they seem pretty successful, yeah. And they're a band, you say. I would try your best not to compare yourselves to those people. Okay, here's the Subaru stuff, I guess. Later. Oh, the run there. Let's go. I don't think guys exist in this show. Because I fucking hate men. Hey, yo. What do you mean by that? Maybe a bit of a sore subject. I don't think you're being serious. Put the fries in the bag. No, I want to know about you. The two most stubborn people you know. Alright, she's way more stubborn about that. Oh no, never mind. But damn, that's crazy. I don't know about the drop out of school part. You're still burying the lead a little bit. Damn, you looked hella innocent. What happened? No, that's kind of. I like how we started the episode with Nina smiling a lot, and then we went like, oh, so that's your smile, Momika. I don't know how people don't sleep in a bed. I can't do that. Oh. Oi, oi, oi. We made a blood pact. Great, fantastic. It does. I saw that last week. Told you she acted pretty annoying here. Yeah, this is what I remember seeing last week. Thought it may have been. Damn, she's pretty official for just like a. I'm imagining it's like some kind of shitty soap or something, right? Put her in a headlock. Animation's great. She's fucking stupid. Why did they get an invite? Damn, I feel like I need to do a bit of that too. What is she on? She was on like Detective Grandma or something. It's not like she was in the theater, is my point. Okay, so Momoko knows who it is. What? She crashed out? She has no idea what she's doing. She needs to be blocked up. Okay. Fuck people from Kyoto, apparently. How do you check if somebody's acting's better? Oh, great. Oh, no. You guys got shit on. Funny. They're amazing at typing. Holy shit. The power of just saying no. I don't think I will. Very, very smart writing decision. And it's gonna be like, wow, her acting was amazing. Sick. You okay? What is why? Explain yourself. Don't use the mic for dramatic effect. I don't think it is. You would know, wouldn't you? Yeah, Momika's really interesting here. Damn. Characters that are literally you. That's crazy. Oh, that was cool too. It's a nice place. Oh yeah, the gaming thing I remember from the ED. Oh, 2D animated. Oh, interesting. So your name is even tied to it. I thought that was pretty obvious. Anyway. It's all in the hair. You seemed okay at it before. Yeah, but like, I mean, you're not obligated to make some old lady happy. Gotta pick your own stuff. I guess, okay, if you have a really close attachment to your grandparents, potentially. You may be misinterpreting why she's happy. Maybe. You keep mentioning it. It makes me feel like you're not... Makes me feel like you will leave. Put her in a fucking headlock. Yo. Okay, we're besties now. That's good. It's a bomb. Oh, okay. Have like hella tangerines there or something. Weird. The detective granny in question. That's just a bit of lipstick. Well, so you guys just watching them work? That's a little bit odd. Oh, I guess she thinks they're both acting students as well. Well, we fulfilled that now, so we can tick that off the list. No amount of self-reflection there at all. Anyway. Man, this is hella depressing. Anyway. Now? Break her heart. Do it. Oh. Oh, can you do it? What? Well, it didn't look like you were going to be able to do it anyway. Interesting. I wonder why Nina resonated with that as she did. Interesting. I got additional context. I'm sorry. Interesting. No, but see, we're a band. We need to stay together. No, she's alright. I know. What a confusing episode. I think I know what they're getting at, and I like that kind of that spin at the very end because like it's a fuck you back to Nina, who was saying real shit when she was acting before as well. But it's more just like it's a very interesting to have an episode where it's structured around a reveal to somebody that you don't want to do something, and then we make a 11th hour decision not to do that for reasons that resonate with Nina, right? So Grandma said something, and then Nina's like, "Well, that sounds good. I don't want to fuck her over. Let's not ruin her life." And again, kind of just again, maybe it's because personally I'm somebody that likes to rip the band-aid off. I'm not one to push it down the hill a little bit further. I'm one to confront it now. But it seems like that's what we're doing, at least until we can justify to Grandma either that I really want to do this or that we're successful enough to prove to her that we can do this, that it's something we should pursue. Weird one. Anyway, next time on... Where are my new characters, damn it? I want to see them. I wanted to see them like yesterday. Anyway, moving onwards and upwards with episode 5. Radio episode 5 up there ready to go. 23 minutes and 57 seconds on this one. Same stuff as last time. Picture in picture in the description below. And yeah, let's give this thing a 3, 2, 1. Radio, 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, it seems like we're not meeting the new characters even again. Just crazy talk. What do you mean? They're on the poster. I have to see them. Anyway, I digress. Monthly pickup artist. Who the hell are you? Oh, okay. Yeah, these guys are lame as. Maybe we should look for 2 more team members. What? Do you recognize? Interesting. Well, tell me. It's clearly important. No! Damn it. Maybe we are meeting new people. It seems like we recognize that new vocalist for Diamond Dustor, which I'm just imagining as some kind of JoJo cover band. That just makes sense to me. Again, we keep saying band, so like, it's not like the concept of idols and bands is incongruous. You're seeing something that is already kind of that anyway. But I'm saying that at least Girls Band Cry, whatever they end up calling themselves, they seem like more of like a band. Like, do Diamond Dust play instruments, I guess is my question there. I guess we'll see as the show continues. Opening's growing on me too, I think. Once you're used to the song structure a little bit more, it just kind of goes. Goes hard. Goes hard in the paint. As the kids used to say. God, I'm old. Anyway, we're trying not to think about that. Oh, Lifehouse. Bocce the Rock vibes for sure. Oh, interesting. That's funny. Old poster, huh? Huh. Huh. Interesting. Okay. Maybe that's the direction we'll go. That's fucked up. Love live. Finally. 20 minutes is a long time. Well, what's the worst thing that could happen? So we fucking bomb? I don't trust that man. He has no eyes. Shady guy. Don't like it. Yeah, we're doing this a lot. Like kind of the text in the world. That's cool. Yeah, okay. She seems cool. That's so funny. Not quite, but you know, it's a rock. I can give you that. I would agree. Capture a portion of the market and then start charging money. That's what you do. But that's also, yeah, what Momika said's also true. Give her hella tickets. She'll pay you in, oh, cool. She'll pay you in beef bowl. She's on smoker. Give her a fucking break. I hope Glasses Girl shows up. That'll be fun. I do not trust this man. What? Still doesn't have eyes. I don't trust him. Well, that's nice. Or a bit of a hipster type guy. I mean, it seems like we're going in completely different artistic directions. I'm gonna have to. Yeah, something like that. She was in it for the art, baby. Nah, she would hate that shit. Just go behind her back. Cute date. Let's go. Ah. Scary. Correct. I sit 2 seats away from you. Damn. Fuck, she's smart. Yep. That's what you have to do. Damn, this is pretty intense. It's hella dudes here, too. Oh, yeah, I think that's what we're trying to say. Yeah, again, way more of an idol type direction. Are they going to be good? Are we going to have to say they're good? Let's see. No, they've got instruments. Yeah, get into it. Give me something. No way. I wanted to hear the song, damn it. Whoa, 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 what? Okay, that's not the direction I thought we were going at all. Now that's funny. Okay, that's not where I thought we were going. Nah, prison time. And that's her theme song, baby. Interesting. I thought it was going to be like Momoka's sister or some shit. Well, you're outside of the venue now. I'd go for it. Why not? We can fill the gaps. Well, you got to explain the context. This is an insane coincidence, by the way. It is like the world is like out to get her. Because I was getting hella bullied. I think that's the idea, right? And then she didn't help. I wanted to hear the fucking song. Which was the same song, by the way. I wanted to hear her vocals, which aren't as good as either Momoko or nor Nina, I think. I'm completely with Nina. This is insanity. Die dust. Everyone's always fighting in this show. I agree. Get to work. They're fucking drinking hella alcohol. That's crazy. Oh, that's a fun coincidence. Like the mediators in the middle. They're my friends. I don't know. Well, they're singing your song that you wrote, so that's a bit weird. No, see, that's a false equivalence. Nina, you're making a bad faith argument. It's like you're trying to go to response. Damn. Always make a scene in public. Never makes me uncomfortable. In public, definitely. Keep going. She's gonna peg that at your head. Soon. Yeah, close enough, yeah. She's being like chased down at school and stuff. Oh, okay, now she's based. Hell yeah. Harmless prank, I don't care. Well, that's sad. Well, now I know why Monica doesn't want to come out with, doesn't want to talk about it. She feels guilty. Thank you. Best side character of all time. Let's just take it outside, I don't know. Ski? Hmm. Ew. I agree. I'm just trying to have a beer. You're in a school uniform, buddy. But that was a gift. No, you can't do that. We all got hella smashed. That was great. Thank God she's wearing shorts. Also, she's very strong. Was that just the wind? You know what they say about alcohol? It drops all inhibitions. You say what you mean. Give her a water. Give her a Panadol or something, too. She'll be in trouble. Yes, it is very rare. Yeah, put it into the performance. Channel that emotion. Be the funnel. Ah, yeah. He was a scumbag. Shady bloke. Yeah, because you're going to be the one up there. Directly compared to your old high school chum. Was this sports anime going on over there? Oh, we're skipping straight ahead. Interesting. Scum. You're scum. Fucking take that, bitch. Fuck you. Give him one of these. I don't even care. Fuck you. There's not many clothes in there. Bare it all? I hope not. Full frontal? Who the fuck are you? You're annoying. Tell that guy fuck off. Fuck off and die, loser. I like the name's still placeholder. That's funny. Sure. No, you guys are on stage. You need to start performing. There's 20 minutes. Just fucking kiss each other. And get it over with. People paid money to be here. Come on. I need to know what all their shirts say, damn it. They love it. Oh, yay! Let's go. Okay. Damn. Next time on. I don't know if I was just off my game today, but they kept doing things I didn't expect them to do. Like, they kept all this build up in the episode about oh, your music isn't hard enough. There's a big difference between what Diamond Dust is doing and what they're doing, right? So I was expecting, hey, we're gonna go into this performance and it's gonna be like at least have a hard guitar line or something. It's like, no, it still sounds pretty much the same as all the other music. I don't know. Maybe I was just getting the wrong signals there. Either way, analysis 4 and 5 coming right up. Let's give them another look. Why not? Episodes 4 and 5 of Girls Band Cry into the books. Largely confusing for me personally. Listen, I think they're good. I think there's a number of elements here that ultimately work, and I need to get my head out of my ass about having expectations about certain things that don't come true, and then me being disappointed in that because they're going for a different thing evidently, right? So again, I'm under the expectation that we're going to meet these new band members pretty soon. That didn't happen. That's disappointing. But also, they did something else entirely, which I also thought was pretty well written. So, like, I don't know. I guess more than any other band show I've seen, this is way more of a drama. Way more of a drama. And a very insular drama as well. We only really have 3 characters thus far, and we've had, what, more than an hour and a half of screen time? Like, a lot of time on screen. Like, a lot. 2 hours? Almost 2 hours. Because, again, you'd compare this to other Juki Hanada stuff, right? I think the closest, if you're just talking like a straight-up drama that's also about music, would be Hibike Euphonium, right? Hibike Euphonium has a very large cast and often does... Like, it was doing a lot of setup up to this point in that show, where this show's kind of already seemingly addressing a lot of things to the point where it's kind of throwing the pacing off for me personally. I'm getting less momentum going forward with the actual plot because I feel like we're getting stuck in the character minutiae a little bit. But again, it's dismissive to call it minutiae because I think it's well written. I think it's pretty good, right? But it's just like I want a goal, I guess. I want a little bit something else a little bit further in the future, a little bit more tangible. I know we're trying to make it generally, and we're trying to, fight our demons along the way or whatever. Maybe, I know it's a rote structure, but Love Live was really good at this. You had the Love Live structure, so you would know that we're building up towards performances that would get us further in the competition. And then eventually there would be the final competition where we'd do the final performance and we would get, we'd win or lose accordingly, right? Where again, I feel like this show, in comparison to something like that, or something like Hibike Euphonium, which also had an albeit looser structure in a competition, I feel like we're missing that element a little bit. But again, let's pick ourselves up. What did we like? I really like the revelation about the new lead singer of Diamond Dust. I think that's pretty fantastic. It gives a tangible reason for both Momika and Nina to care as much as they do, carrying that major conflict of episode 5 as a result. I'm also really warming to Subaru. I think she has some fantastic character moments. I'm really liking her VA. She's given the most levity and comedy to the show thus far, I would argue, right? Your whole thing is that you're stubborn, right? And your whole thing is that you're kind of nonchalant and also stubborn. It's fun to have a character that's out here just trying to yuck it up a little bit sometimes, right? She's put into uncomfortable situations and needs to adapt. That's just good gear. I think that's nice. And as always, the production is holding up its end of the bargain. The only other disappointing part there was that the song at the end of episode 5 didn't go just a tad bit harder, which I kind of wanted it to. But either way, we'll dive back through here and see what we can see. There's a big chance that I've missed a bunch of stuff that makes this even better as well, because the show is packed full of details and that kind of stuff, to the point where if you're watching it the first time, you may miss some stuff. Again, I already absolutely gushed about the K-On scene, so I'm not going to do that again. They're in the guitar shop looking at guitars. We didn't really address that even further in these 2 episodes, really, but hey, she's got a guitar on the front cover of the show, so she's probably going to have a guitar, that being Nina. I guess going deeper than surface level here as well, you could say that she's running upon the high of the performance from the end of episode 3. She came out there and she bared herself to the world, so to say, and she did it in the embarrassing costume, and she had a great time. There's nothing better than performing on stage and feeling like you did a good job. Even, again, in my very small experience on stage, I understand that feeling. It's pretty good. It also demonstrates that she still has quite the adoration and idolization of Momika, right? Despite her being my band member now, she's also, again, I get to be cool like Momika used to be cool for Diamond Dust. Get to have the guitar up front in the band and perform. Maybe one day I'll be that cool as well. And again, in the reaction, I noted that it's nice to see her happy, because again, she isn't... she's happy in spots in these 2 episodes, but again, a happy Nina is few and far between in the show. I guess the other part here is innocence. You're innocent to the point where you don't know how much work it takes to be competent enough at guitar to stand on stage and perform and sing all at the same time. But again, she's in her little cartoon, naive little world over here, for at least for the moment. Again, just what a joyous opening to episode 4. I really, really enjoy the opening here. And again, I'm trying to connect what we're feeling there to the end. I guess, okay, so there's some lines here where Nina says, I didn't care what anybody else thought, I just wanted to go out and perform, which kind of attaches itself to the grammar. But it's a little bit different when the I don't care about the other people, I just want to perform are the children of which you're the legal guardian of. That's a little bit different. May lead to some angst. Again, it's a great fun lesson for a 17-year-old girl. Less fun when you have kids, when you're a mother, right? Then it's kind of neglectful, at least a little bit. Because again, we'll talk about it at length and how I guess the ending of the episode, at least right now, doesn't sit right with me. We're just kind of pushing the conflict further down the line. She still thinks that Subaru wants to be an actress. She doesn't, and you know, shit will play out accordingly. I guess once we're a bigger band and have a little bit more oomph behind us, a few more people that share our worldview, it'll be easier to stand our ground and tell our side of the story. And again, there was a few different directions I thought we may have gone with this overall, with this kind of episode structure. I thought the other one would have been that Grandma didn't care what you were doing as long as you were performing and passionate, something like that. Like, I see my acting and how I felt when I was acting in you on stage right now, performing with your drums. You're channeling that kind of same creative energy. That could have been a direction. We just don't go any of them, really. We just, again, push it down the line because Nina had a little bit of a, change of heart about the grandma based on her little speech. I don't know. Weird, really, really weird. Doesn't sit right with me. At least not right now. So this is editing me returning after the fact. So I continue to talk about this conflict a little bit more as I go through the episode, right? If I'm honest, completely honest, it still probably doesn't sit right with me completely, but I've come to a new appreciation of it, I guess. The one thing is I don't think the show demonstrates this particularly well, if it's the direction it wants to go, right? So, okay, you two reflect each other. Your experience with your family expectations is the same as your experience with your family expectations. You, as a character, that being Nina, doesn't want to confront this yet. Therefore, I would feel uncomfortable forcing a character so similar to me to solving their family conflict right now. In the same way that you're forcing you to push it down the line further, you want to push your conflict with your family down the line further. So again, when you guys are all united and feeling stronger later in the show, we can address it all at once. You can address your conflict with your family, that being Subaru, and Nina can address hers with supposedly her family that are going to come see her at some point during the show, you would think. So again, in that way, it's a really human and kind of vulnerable moment for you where you're like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to force somebody into doing this if they don't want to. Probably seeing the moment of hesitation from Subaru as well and acting accordingly, pushing her out of there, even though Subaru had the kind of guts to go through with it, apparently. Again, it's weird. Listen, if that's the interpretation, that's a little bit better. But again, I just don't think the show does a good job of showing that if it is the expectation for the interpretation of this scene from the audience. Again, it just really confuses me. It's not the direction which I thought the episode would go. Again, episodic television thrives on starting an arc and finishing it, right? Does that make any sense? Like, we don't do all the build-up to the conclusion and then say, we'll do that later. Like, unless you're doing it for a very specific reason. And again, maybe there's some other justifications from you guys as to why they're doing this specific thing. But yeah, it's definitely it's very interesting. I don't know. You guys give me your thoughts on it, I guess. Again, what other character do we have that's doing like trademark anime like wars? You know what I mean? Like that. Yeah, that's what Subaru brings to the table. I think it also demonstrates to me how multi-talented Momoka is. She's in the stew right now. She's cooking, right? And she can also sing, and she's also good on the guitar, and I bet she could play bass as well. Like, she's really good. She's been out this a long time. And yeah, more shout-outs to the sound work in the show. Really like this kind of... You can really hear the mic pick up when she's doing that second take on the vocal. Dude, the revelation around Diamond Dust is also insane. I'm imagining... Whose phone is this? Is this your phone? Is your phone broken? Like you're broken? Like your soul is broken? Somebody's phone's broken, and that's a metaphor, a pretty obvious one. Again, the kind of scratch on the phone there, putting a line through the band as well, breaking that band in two, which is what happened in the past. And again, nice scene structure here, kind of looking at that phone, looking at Diamond Dust and seeing what they're doing before you get alerted on your phone about something else entirely. Again, a phone for a kid in this day and age is an attachment to their feelings, their very soul almost, right? So again, seeing one phone broken with an image of a band on it and another one calling you back to your kind of familial call and the whole acting thing. Again, you're torn in your personality there. That's what's being gotten across. And again, it was pretty serious business. Grandma's in town and she thinks I'm a different person, basically. She thinks I'm very prim and proper. I'll give them their final warning here as well. Not that it's that serious. They seem to go for this gag. They've done it twice. I guess it's a 3 strikes you're out type rule. They've gone for this gag where, somebody's leaving and they're doing something. Oh, they must have a boyfriend. Boyfriend? I'm scandalized about the fact that a boy exists in this universe, and that somebody may want to spend time with them at some point in their lives. Anyway, don't know why we're being so... I guess it shows that you're a little bit naive still. Again, that's one of your major character pieces. But I believe we did this joke with you as well. A boy came out of your room and then it's like, no, it's my gay roommate. Like, I don't know. Too many of the same joke. Get a different joke. That's my hard-hitting criticism. But I guess it works for levity in the episode as well, which most of all was pretty intense with the grandma stuff. Nah, it's a pretty light episode overall, I would say. Because I think the scene where they're trying to act is very good too. Oh, this is another thing I want to bring up. I'm very happy I'm structuring these episodes the way I'm doing them as well. Like, I've done 2 and 3, which I thought broadly went together as episodes, and I'm kind of like that's kind of little Subaru arc type thing. This included Subaru stuff, but I would say the major motivator behind these 2 episodes is the who is Diamond Dust question, what does Momoka think about them question, right? Which again, still has more to go there, but I think they're fitting well in these kind of 2 episode chunks I'm doing. Always ending with that performance on that kind of odd numbered episode as well. I just think that's neat. I think that's really good. So again, you ask that question, what do you think? And again, Momoka doesn't want to answer. She just walks away, really. And again, we'll get our answer almost by the end of episode 5. Very pointed in this scene as well. You're very cagey about your opinions on Diamond Dust these days, but you also go over and play an acoustic guitar. Now again, the broad theory, I think from me at the moment, without actually any hard confirmation, is that you saw the band going in a different direction than the band you foresaw, right? The music you wanted to play, so you basically split up on artistic grounds. Again, they wanted to go a little bit more mainstream, you really didn't. So again, you gravitating away from the kind of harder electrical style, which I think they're going for, a little bit more of an idol thing, and leaning a little bit more towards the acoustic stuff is in matching with this, I would say. Again, acoustic guitar is shorthand for authentic feelings. Again, that's what I feel was missing from this whole thing, you know? However, we have the most stubborn person in the world on the other side of the conversation, that being Nina. So again, we finally give her a little bit. Momoka rescinds just a tad. We see this nice picture of them as a kind of high school band, right? And we kind of reminisce about the good old days, right? Where we were so very talented. We closed the fall festival at school and we were so very good that we dropped out and immediately moved to Tokyo. And it was this we thought it was meant to be type thing, right? We thought it was this classic story. And again, look how wide-eyed and innocent you are. smiling truthfully, right? Again, kind of this motif in the episode. Starting the episode with such a bright smile from Nina as well. Again, part of the concept here being that I was naive like Nina back in the day as well. I didn't understand how this all worked, and again, Momoko is a little bit more jaded now by comparison. But upon meeting Nina, who again represents a younger version of herself, she may recapture some of this magic. That's overall what we're trying to get at with the show, I think. And again, I get the feeling of this kind of visual language, especially in the opening around these kind of reverberations, all these kind of like amplitude lines and that kind of shit. You know what I'm talking about. That's kind of that goosebump feeling, that miracle type feeling, that tangible energy when you're making something that's resonant for you, and, you know, it feels like you're just in the right place you're meant to be. That's the kind of feeling you're seeking, and that's the feeling you had back in the day with your bandmates. Again, I don't need to lay it out all perfectly for you, but the whole dropping out of school and moving to Tokyo thing, again, on a whim, really with not much of a plan, really relates you to Nina, right? And then again, I'm getting this general sense of guilt from you overall, right? Where you're like, well, and then I quit. We were just on the perfect track to make everybody else's dream come true. Everybody in my band was so very invested in this, then I had to be the stick in the mud that said no and went away, right? We had this dream of us playing together as old ladies in a band still, right? We thought it was friendship for life. I was the one that changed that. And again, but I wasn't wrong, you know? Because, again, that's where I feel like this overall message really fits really well with the show, right? That's where I feel like it's quite good. Where, again, you're just like little Nina, right? And you need little Nina here and now to remind you of how you were back then when you decided to leave, when you decided that was the right decision for you, right? Because, again, based on what everybody else wanted for you, what the world wanted for you was to stay in that band and accomplish that task, right? That's what the world was pushing upon you, but that's not what you were feeling, and you wanted to express this feeling that you weren't wrong. You weren't wrong with what you were feeling, even though everybody else judged you for it, right? Again, you would have to imagine family and whatever as well, right? It would have been a big break. It would have been a lot of money, and you still said no. Again, I wasn't wrong. I want to express that feeling. Nina relates to that, and that's why she gets so passionate in the bar in episode 5. And I'm happy I'm laying out the groundwork now so I don't have to double back on it later on. Back home now, and we get a text from Subaru. It essentially says that I quit the band, which I guess she just fumbled the bag. She never wanted to quit the band, she just lied. So now we're going to go see what's up, and I don't know why I lied earlier and said this episode wasn't very funny from this point, because this whole scene's hilarious. Again, this is the scene of the crime from episode 3 where you were so very nervous. Like, again, this really great cut here where it's like, have you ever dated a guy, Nina? Have you, Momoko? Right? Well, it's probably a little bit more embarrassing for Momoko, right? Considering she's 21, something like that. And again, just cut from that scene straight into the, we don't get the answer there. Because the answer's no. They both have no experience, and it's funny. And again, we have fucking little Nina scurrying around like a little rodent, right? Where she feels like she doesn't belong. Again, she felt embarrassed upon episode 3 in that scene, right? Again, be careful about Subaru here as well. She acts out of character. And again, we've got that exactly correct. Look at Subaru acting out of character here. Damn, with the hair flick too. And again, we put it together immediately. Grandma's in town, so you need to put on a little bit more of an act. Again, that's the irony, of course, is that you're acting in front of your acting grandmother, right? See what we're doing there? So in lying to her that you like acting, you're acting in the process. Which again, okay. We're tying this into Oshinoko a little bit as well, which was a big theme we talked about, at least in season 1, which was that acting in real life and acting on stage in a musical performance and acting in a drama and acting in this and acting in that, they're all very different, but they're all essentially the same. You want to get across a different idea to somebody else to convince them of something, right? To convince them of a lie, right? Which is, again, the central thing in that show. Where again, I feel like we're hitting on similar notes here, at least a little bit, right? But again, that kind of acting stuff conflicts with the whole truthfulness angle that you two represent, I think. So that's a fun dynamic. Again, leading up to that fantastic scene, of course, where you're acting quote unquote, but actually saying some real shit, getting across that kind of thing. Again, linking that to the end of the episode where you're doing a very similar thing in the kind of, audition room. That's not what you call it. Recording room, something like that. Yeah, where you're acting but telling the truth. Again, I really don't want to be like a broken record about this kind of stuff, but like that face to the eyes there, which you can hardly see behind DLC having a moment, but like, yeah, right there, yeah. That's that good stuff, right here. That's that good stuff. That's the difference. I think the real example here is the difference here between her kind of straight posture here to what it ends up being when she leaves. You can already see her kind of leaning down here a little bit, right? Before it gets kind of completely out of whack here, crossing the arms, crossing the legs, that kind of stuff. Yeah, bending over, hunching over a little bit more, being a little bit more natural. Again, CG is known for its stiffness. That's why people don't use it, right? Because they can't get this stuff across generally. This is the exact opposite. They're displaying quick information through body language in a way that I've probably never even seen before. It's pretty impressive. Yeah, again, leaning further back there, you leaning forward, you relaxing too, just kind of, switching it all up, I do like the justification for sending that text as well, that you're quitting the band, is I need to be in character to be my perfect little granddaughter kind of act at the moment, right? I need to, character act for that, so I got to quit the band, at least temporarily in my own head. Taking method acting to the nth degree. I think that's pretty funny as well. And then, yeah, this is just a great scene as well, forcing these two people that are supposedly acting students that were in that dorm with her, right, into a performance. Again, in front of a famous actress. It's just good comedy, right? Forcing characters into uncomfortable situations. Again, you're already socially awkward. So are you on some level. So it's fun to see them have to act. I think that's good. Again, especially a confession scene as well. I think that's just good shit. That even links into, there's somewhat of a confession at the end of episode 5 as well. That's a fun little mirror. That's good. God, I'm trying to think of the show. What's the show where they just love to fucking text people on screen constantly? It's something in a similar ballpark to this. I'm forgetting it. Fuck. Where they just love texting. Is it Bocce the Rock? Is Bocce the Rock where they love texting? Anyway, some show like that. Anyway, fantastically funny scene as well. The frantic typing under the table. We're going to forgive the fact that they can't see what's written at all. So they wouldn't actually be able to respond because they're all giving her eye contact. Like, how are you texting like that and not looking at your phone and not seeing the response? I don't understand. Anyway, and now moving into what I quoted in the episode as being a really, really smart writing choice, we choose to break through the artifice here, much like has been Nina's character up to this point, breaking through the bullshit and channeling true, real emotions. We do that through her here, breaking through the performance and telling Subaru what she thinks. I thought you were committed to us, I can't believe you put in this double act thing, you should just cut it off, all that kind of stuff, blah, 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 which again makes the decision by the very end of the episode, and that kind of swap by you, an interesting one, I would say. But again, much like I was talking about breaking through the lie to tell the truth, when, again, your whole thing right now is being in kind of this sea of lies, Oh, paired with this fantastic shot, right? Going from the performance here to, like, contemplation to, like, turning around. So, like, from here, through here, on the face, turning around, that other side of me, and that kind of scowl in the mirror there. Good shit. Again, almost forcing me to confront something that I didn't want to confront, and again, continue just to push it down the line. And again, I'm with Subaru on a level. She continues to tell you, and you should trust her when she says that she's not going to quit the band. And again, you just kind of need to do this while she's in town. And what's the difference between me doing this and you doing your academic stuff? There's none at all, really. Again, this is my lie. The academic stuff is your lie. That your commitment to your family pressure on you, right? Like, do we not see the mirror here, guys? You're kind of very similar to each other, no? It's also bugging Subaru specifically because she knows her grandmother. She doesn't show up spontaneously, so there's probably something else that's coming along with this as well. And again, she finally gets that email there that she's going to act in an episode of her show alongside her, right? That's again why we're checking up specifically on the acting skills and that side of it, right? Again, in the reaction, I commented Momoka's really, really interesting in this type of scenario, right? There's this conflict between the two, right? Where it's like, I'll only be gone for a week. Well, you're gone for some time when you're studying. That's the same. No, it's not the same. Well, people leaving groups, that happens all the time. Again, you can already see kind of the cracks forming here, maybe the start of the cracks that eventually broke your group too. Again, one person leaving a group that, we thought that this was it. We thought that this was the thing, right? We thought that this was the bee's knees. And somebody else didn't think that, and somebody else had different plans, and that kind of broke the group and broke these people. And again, you don't want to get too close so that happens again to you, but you're also seeing it play out in real time for Nina, right? Who is that representation of the young you. I think that's pretty good, right? Like, oh shit, the most traumatic part of my life up to this point was having to quit the band, right? And breaking that dream of all my friends. You know, so we say. I can see that happening to the young me, to the innocent me, all over again, and want to keep my distance. Good. Very good. Look, everyone has personal issues they don't want to share. You don't like being asked about why you moved here, right, Nina? Right? It's the same for me. I like being asked about what happened at the band before, what happened with Diamond Dust. Yeah. Gotta read between the lines here to see the stuff. When I saw this kind of stuff, I believe it was in episode 2, I said, I wish we saw more of that. Like the titles existing in the world, it gives it a little bit of an artistic spin, just a little bit, and I thought it was just enough. It was just enough to not seem out of place for this kind of show, which is broadly pretty realistic. I think this is really nice. I hope they keep doing it. It's really, really good. I love seeing these kind of this kind of information displayed on the buildings and that kind of thing, right? Yeah, it's tight. It's good. Also really like Nina there as well, kind of immediately responding to Subaru's message to meet up again with a no before rescinding immediately and saying, yeah, actually I am free. I'll go see you. Again, initially mad, but ultimately caring. So let's talk about Grandma, right? Okay. So Grandma is enamored by performance, much like many other characters in the show. She had a formative experience very early in her life, which she loved. She loved acting. She loved doing this, she loved doing that, and it represented a career for her, a direction she could go. So again, she's seen that done one way. She sees so much of herself when she's young in Subaru. I want her to do that as well. I want her to experience this lovely thing that I've done as well, and it would be the bestest thing in the world if I also did it with her. That would be great. It gets even more weight, of course, when we find out that this is the origins behind the name of Subaru, right? This was the name of the film back in the day, her debut, right? So Subaru's name has literally been intrinsically tied to the acting career. Names are so very important in Japanese culture and that kind of stuff as well, and very, very important when you're naming people and naming characters and that kind of stuff, what you're naming them. It has meaning, it has inherent meaning, right? Even more so here where it's like, hey, well, you know, you were literally destined to act to the point where it's in what people call you every day. So again, it would break Grandma's heart if we're like, oh, well, actually, I don't want to do that, I found my own thing. But again, that's also guilt tripping the kid into doing that, right? So I don't feel like that's right either. Again, everyone should be able to act individualistically without somebody overbearing on them for what they need to do. But also there's a happy medium to gain there of making the people around you happy, you know? It's cathartic for Nina right now to say fuck you to her parents and fuck you to the school and that kind of stuff. But what if she was saying fuck you to somebody that really, really loved her, that actually had her best interests in mind and wanted to see the best for her? What if we changed that perspective somewhat? Again, it becomes a little bit more grey. But again, ultimately, I still don't agree with Grandma. Let Subaru do what she wants, I guess. And again, you need to be honest and tell her that so she can process that information and change her tact accordingly. Again, as I keep saying, visual language doing a lot here, mirroring the grandmother here, mirroring that initial role, mirroring her position in the industry up to this point, an up-and-comer that's ready to break out in her first role before ultimately turning it off. I don't like it, I get embarrassed, turn it off. That's not ultimately for me. Cutting off that career at that exact moment as well, right after that debut. And I believe I said this last week as well, I do like the show's propensity for characters to meet up and talk things out, genuinely. There'll be a little bit of bickering and back and forth beforehand, but Subaru in particular has already done it twice, where we take the characters aside and we're like, hey, what if this? Actually, I'm feeling this. Actually, I'm conflicted and torn because this, right? You may think it's easy to tell Grandma no, but, well, when I act, I see her smile, and a genuine smile, right? And of course, again, we're attaching that to the Momika stuff, we're attaching that to the Nina stuff at the very start of the episode where she had that lovely smile too. Again, I want to be able to give that to the people I love, right? But not also give up my own passion in the process. That's why it's conflicting, right? So again, now Nina sees it a little bit more from her perspective, but again, you should do what you want. If you really believe in this band thing, you should tell her soon that you don't want to pursue acting. And again, reassuring her that you won't leave the band regardless, right? When I hit the drums during our live show, I actually really enjoyed it. Again, not like I really enjoy acting. Again, I felt something different there, something that I want to pursue. And again, ending us here with a little headlock and a little cute pout, I guess you would say. Nice face. I don't really understand the apology here. I guess you're apologizing for butting in on the whole, why did you leave Diamond Dust thing. But then you bring that up again later, so it's like, what are we even doing? I don't know. The oranges are nice, though. Well, what are they? Like, something. There's something. I don't know. Again, I'm also seeing a disconnect. Maybe it's an assumption from me, right? That, like, if you're doing TV these days, like serialized TV that isn't like prestige streaming stuff, or aren't also in movies, or aren't also doing stage productions, aren't also... How are you, like, up and high and mighty about acting? You're essentially like somebody on NCIS. You're not like... You're not this tour de force, is my point. Anyway, I digress. Maybe there's a disconnect there. The discussion of makeup here is pretty interesting as well. You have to wear a lot of makeup when you're performing. Again, trying to fool, trying to put on an act, all these other things which we've discussed before on the channel. About makeup and acting and all sorts of stuff. Common ground this show is sharing with a lot of things, actually. I guess the other part of it, which I'm not considering too, is... hey, if I tell her that I don't want to do acting anymore, they're not going to pay for me to be in acting school anymore. So I'll need to move. I'll need to move back home, wherever that is. Probably Kyoto, based on this whole shebang. Yeah, so again, it would be harder to be in a band if I was like a couple of hours away or whatever. So fair enough. Either way, we get some time to talk with Grandma here. She says that it was her dream to be able to perform with somebody, right? It's been my dream to perform with my granddaughter. And again, this makes Nina feel some type of way, right? That kind of talk about dream and what an ultimate want would be, right? And again, that genuine smile she has upon seeing her act. You really wanted to be an actress, right? Well, yeah, I named her after the role after my big break and that kind of stuff. My daughter hates my job. So Subaru's mother, right? She says that I'm never home. And again, it makes me think that you're like a bad mother. I don't know. I don't know if that's fair, but it does. Like, I don't know. Stop acting, be a mum, at least a little bit. Stop following your passion. Again, really inspiring if a 17-year-old's doing that. Not so much a mother, especially a mother with young kids. But again, it's just really weird here. It's like you fall for her sob story, so to say. Because I'm seeing some connections here to Nina in general about a dream and fulfilling a dream, and people supporting your dream in your family, and you finally being happy seeing somebody doing that and wanting to protect that. I see that as a representation for you, but ultimately I don't think it's enough for you to change your mind on the subject. It just feels off, especially when you see Subaru in this scene, who is like mustering up the courage to tell her this thing and shooting all that down. It just, again, doesn't feel right. There's a specific close-up of the lips here as well. Potentially we're focusing in on the makeup and that facade that you've been putting on and trying to clear it away, which I think is a nice touch here, before, again, Nina jumps in and saves the day. So again, we just leave Grandma in blissful ignorance for now that eventually we're not going to act anymore. And Subaru's rightly like crashes out. The whole episode you've been telling me to tell her the truth and cut her off and all this kind of stuff, and then right at the last second when I'm mustering up my courage to do it, you pull me away? I'm with Subaru. And then you get on your high horse about it a little bit. The only way that I think this fits better for me is if there's more to you and your situation that relates to this a little bit more, and you're feeling it a little bit more based on something we don't know yet. That's the only way this makes more sense to me. But we do bring it back around for the ending of the episode here. As I've said before, I really, really like this scene. You taking something real and saying some real emotions, and then using the facade of saying that you were acting to, you know, let what's in your heart out, to blow some steam, to get, you know, something off your chest, that kind of thing. Like, hey, I'm actually really frustrated with you two and the rest of the world and this situation and the conflict that it's put me in, and, you know, I'm gonna have to use something to channel that. I'm channeling it through the drums, but I'm also channeling it through my acting, which is fun. Got that dual purpose thing going on. The morality monster who suddenly changes her mind, and someone who gets it but won't help. Which, yeah, that's you've hit her on the head, right, with the hammer. You fucking nailed it. And then it's like, oh, I tricked you, I was acting. We've got a bit of the Fang thing going on here as well, which, you know, your mileage may vary. It's fine, I know how I'll have to deal with it eventually, so I'll be here kicking your asses forward until then. Again, as I keep saying, just kicking that problem down the road a little bit. Again, I'm guessing when you feel a little bit more confident with what you feel like you should be doing, which is the band, then you'll be like, hey, Grandma, look at me, look at all this, this is what I want to do. But again, bit of a weird feeling episode. Onwards to episode 5, which I think has similar problems, at least a little bit confused, but ultimately, again, has a stronger reveal and core to it emotionally, I would say. We start episode 5 here with Diamond Dust introducing themselves to the camera, doing their stupid finger thing. I don't know what you're doing there. I'm doing it the wrong way. Like this. That's like a D. Almost. Where again, I really like this decision to place the camera here and for it to be like a camera on a screen. There is something artificial to this, and there's a barrier by which we can't quite recognize somebody we should recognize as well. I'd say this here's performative candidness, in contrast to the rest of the show, which is a little bit more real. It wants to present itself as real, right? Again, this is idle stuff down to a T. Following the journey of you making the discovery about who's the new member of Diamond Dust this episode is just fantastic. One of the best aspects here today that we saw. And again, threw me for a loop. I thought we were going to do, it's Momoka's sister, something like that, right? Where Momoka doesn't want us to look at it too long because that'll reveal the secret behind it all and why Momoka doesn't want to touch it. And again, that would attach it to this family theme that I think's been going on with a bunch of everybody else as well. Not quite. It's not the direction we went. Very pointedly, we start after the opening at a live house where Diamond Dust performed previously, right? So again, this was almost like their debut as well. It's placing us, this band, currently in the same position they used to be in. Again, conflating Nina with Momoka continuously. And that being the young Nina, of course, as well. Yeah, it's like a trip down memory lane for Momoka, and she, again, confronting this old same guy at the live house and that kind of thing, right? So I thought pretty directly here, we looked at this poster of Momoka and that face, and then we looked at the face of this person, and I thought we were going to be like, oh, it's like same face. Not quite, not really. Also, have the other character designs changed? A little bit. They're just a bit more idly, I guess. I don't know, they're kind of the same. Yeah, they're a bit different. Hair color's different over here for sure. I do like this general discussion in the show about live houses. It's one of the things that I really enjoyed about Bocce the Rock as well, right? It gave me some insight into this whole scene that I didn't really understand before, and and how it kind of works business-wise and so forth, right? Specifically here, we call out the fact that we don't do quotas, right? We don't do that kind of side of it, which was a big plot point in Bocce the Rock, right? Getting to that quota. Instead, we pay up front, and again, you didn't realize that and start giving away tickets, and yeah, it leads to a whole debacle. Yeah, I just think I like learning about things that I didn't previously know. These kind of live houses as well associate themselves with real music a lot more than the stadium show that Diamond Dust was doing as well. Again, I thought broadly leading up to a song that was going to be a little bit more real and a little bit more hard and have a stronger guitar line and that kind of stuff, right? Not quite heavy metal, I would say, especially by the end. It's pretty lightweight. And again, in Bocce the Rock, it's that same conflict. It's like, well, who are these girls that keep coming up here? They can't shred, and then Bocce fucking shreds, and it's cool. And again, she proves the haters wrong, all those wannabe hipster types. Specifically here, we tell this guy not to mention that I'm in Diamond Dust as part of the promo, or was in Diamond Dust. I do not trust this man. He is the worst character in the show. I hate his shitty facial hair, which again is hypocritical from me personally, but I digress. I don't like him. He's also balding. I'll just explain now because Nina is broadly misunderstanding what's going on here. Momoka has fronted the price for the venue up front, right, and gotten the tickets accordingly, right? That way it's on us, the onus is on the band to then sell the tickets to make a profit on it, right? That's the business model here as opposed to the quota method and getting residuals and that kind of thing, right? So Nina doesn't realize this and gives away a ticket accidentally. And again, I'm sounding like a bit of a broken record here, but Bocce the Rock does have two characters which are fantastic. Bocce's little fans that are kind of these characters that show up to all the performances and that kind of thing, and again, they're fans of her and her performance and that kind of thing, and that's a way that she can fulfill her part of the bargain when it comes to the quota. So again, it's nice having this kind of random person at school that's now a fan of your music. I think that's great. Also, if you like that kind of awkward comedy stuff as well, you'll get a kick out of this. Yeah, sweating it up. It's good stuff. This girl here specifically says that she's into heavy metal as well, so you'll like my music then. I'm like, not quite. Not really. So initially I was on Nina's side here as well, as Nina learns the information that she actually needed to sell the tickets. I was initially like, yeah, you want people in the door, right? You want early adopters, you want as many as possible to experience the product, so then you can hook them in and then start to make them spend money, right? It's the whole kind of, you get 3 months membership free and then it starts charging you money. You get used to the convenience of having it and how good the product is, and then you don't mind spending the money on it. But Momoka says here that people won't value something that they get for free. If I get a free ticket to something, I'm not obligated to go. In fact, I see no opportunity cost for me not to go because I didn't spend any money on it, right? And I think I didn't consider that. That's definitely true in kind of human psychology, right? The sunk cost fallacy is real. If I spend money on a ticket, I feel like I have to go in order not to waste my money. We see obvious band member here they're back at the same restaurant again, ordering beef bowls. She sees the tickets on there, right? And kind of quickly exchanges some money for a couple of the tickets, right? Probably overspending as well. How many 1,000 yen is that? No, they're paying the right price, I think. Stole a couple tickets basically and paid them. I thought maybe it was a bit of extra money to make up for the ticket they lost as well. Again, as I continue to say, I just want to meet them. I just want to meet these two. It's frustrating to me that I haven't met these two, if I'm honest. Yeah, I just really do. Nina and Subaru are walking home and they're kind of talking about how Momoka didn't tell us initially that she fronted the money for the tickets, right? It's almost like she's protecting us, feels like she's the older member, she's the one with the disposable income, but also, again, it infantilizes the other two. It makes them feel useless. Again, potentially emboldening them to take up this guy's offer and take the tickets and go out on their own and learn some things, right? Like, hey, we're not as useless as you think we are. But again, it's that same idea from Momoka's perspective of seeing her younger self, her naive self in these two as well. And again, wanting to protect them from the cold, hard truth of the situation, something that comes out through the rest of the events in the episode. As I said, he gives us a ticket to the new Diamond Dust show because this venue is important to Diamond Dust and their come up. So, hey, here's the reward. I don't want it. You guys can have it. Good excuse for you two to go and check out the competition, so to say. Shoutouts to Nina being socially inept here to the point of facepalm status, I would say. I'm like fucking facepalming over here about it. And the show having the balls to immediately explain how stupid she was being, right? Just lie. Again, Subaru's great at this. She's the actress, of course, right? Yeah, that's just good writing, for sure. Just, yeah, Subaru would crush that situation way more. She has way more different social hats she can put on, right? When Nina's straight up and down. What you see is what you get, and she's socially awkward to boot. Again, wanting to charge money for the rest of the friends and their tickets. What are you, insane? Just come up with some lie. I thought we were maybe going to try to say something about the idol industry here, just looking at this crowd. I thought maybe we were trying to do a bit, but I think, again, for a show like Girls Band Cry, potentially a little bit hypocritical. You know what I'm saying here, I think. And this is before I saw the performance. I thought the performance itself was going to be a bit more of a straight-up idol thing, a la Love Live or something in that kind of area. No, as it turns out, it's just basically a cover band. They're doing the same old songs, but they're in different costumes and they've got a different singer. Where again, I thought it was going to be a sister of Momoka. I thought we were going to try to say something through it about family and a, descent in the family and I want to do it this way, and then somebody sweeps through and does it this way, and then we need the sister's story and that kind of thing, and, it would make a lot of sense if we came out here and they were, playing this, really fake music. Instead, we attach it entirely to Nina and her backstory with a revelation that I don't think anybody could have seen coming. It must be frustrating for Nina twofold, because I think she's a way stronger vocalist than this girl here. So if she auditioned, she could have just joined the band straight up. She could have become the lead singer of her favorite band. That would have been funny. I really like the use of that kind of red effect here and that kind of flashback. It's like a swarm now. It's way stronger. It's stronger than we've seen it because it's a direct reminder of what the kind of red effect represents, right? Which is the past and that kind of conflict she went through. So we have Nina here back in high school looking in her locker. Normally you would keep your shoes in here and they've been stolen. So that's pretty bad, right? We have another character following behind, coincidentally with pigtails, and who's going to say something kind of catty as she walks off into the light out of the shadow, which is pointed as well. It's your own fault. So again, these two were friends on a level. They had a falling out because you were getting bullied and she told you not to do it. She essentially told you to conform. You didn't conform. And she's like, oh, well, you get what you deserve. And then she walked away. But again, I found solace in this low point in my life where I had no friends and where I was being bullied and where I didn't want to be wrong and all these other things through this song that you're now performing with the band. That's insane. That is an absolutely valid crash out. Like, yes, that is insane. Imagine your fucking childhood bully becoming the lead singer of your favorite band. What? Well, maybe not bully, but you know what I mean. Like, crazy talk. So again, how can it be you, the person that abandoned me in my time of need, when I needed to turn on this song for guidance, for support? How can you be up there saying those words that are so full of lies? You don't believe them? I was the one that believed them. This is my song. This is my song where I feel like it's the main character is me, you know? Again, yeah, it's an absolute gut punch for Nina. Specifically here, you don't get to sing this, and then running outside and swearing her head off, basically. Again, just yelling incomprehensible nonsense, I can relate to that for sure. Just being so angry you can't even put it into proper words. And I really like following Subaru through this conversation as well. Just, she has no idea what she's going on about and why she's even doing this, and is just thoroughly confused. Very funny. Really smart decision as well, after the ad break, to play a very similar scene to the very start of the episode as well, now reframed now that we know what's going on, where you're now the one to turn off the TV, not wanting to acknowledge any of that stuff, not wanting to learn any of the information, and are broadly pretty frustrated at it, right? Again, which character does this relate you to? I would say Momoko, right? Momoko was the one that wanted to hide away from this fact as well, and now you do too for completely different reasons. Again, leading to the rest of the conflict in the episode, basically. Momoko here continues with the same tack she had from the very start of the episode, basically, right? Where it's, shut up about Diamond Dust, I don't want to hear about it, I want to cut all that off, you're annoying if you speak about it, you went to their show and, you know, you saw something that annoyed you, that's, you know, you get what you deserve, that's comeuppance, that kind of stuff. You should have just been cutting yourself off the entire time, right? Just cover your ears, close your eyes, it'll all be over soon. I do think Nina has a bit of a chip on her shoulder here, right? She's like, you don't understand, Diamond Dust is so very important to me, and she can't be the new member, blah, blah, blah. Do you not think that Diamond Dust is potentially important to Momoko as well, considering she wrote the damn song? Of course it's going to cut her to see somebody else performing that song that was so very important to her, right? Like, you're not seeing it, you're not very empathetic, is my point. I don't know. Again, Subaru, unfortunately, stuck in the middle as well. And again, you want to live and let die, just like, hey, they're doing better now, I'm, you know, staying away. But in reality, this is cope. You don't want to re-confront all those feelings you had before, and the guilt that you have of breaking up the band, per se. Either way, we're not paying here to argue, so we should get on with the show, but Subaru feels like there's lingering tension that we need to sort out before anything else. Therefore, let's go sort it out at the pub, at a nice public, you know, eatery, nice venue. Just go sort out all our drama there, in front of everybody. Again, largely what makes this scene very, very uncomfortable for me. I hate public displays. Public displays of affection, public displays of anger, public displays of sadness. I hate them all. Do that shit at home. Get away from me. So, like, it just makes me feel uncomfortable. I don't know. It's just a me thing. Oh, I missed this in the reaction, though. The fight bell is fantastic. And you like, kind of standing as the referee and the mediator in the middle of this. I would like if we get a little bit more abstract with the show as well. Maybe take this further, not make it a phone screen, and put this whole conversation in a theoretical boxing ring, right? Where you now have a costume change and you two are like talking back and forth in the ring. I think that could have been pretty fun. But again, maybe not this kind of show. This kind of stuff's great though. This is just peak endearing. Speaking of peak endearing, right? This character's who I think it is, right? Over here. Like that's the mother of the kid from the apartment next door, right? That's why it's like a person we know. That's cute. I think that's funny. Yeah, I guess I don't know how bars work in Japan either. Can I be a minor and just sit next to somebody at the bar and not drink an alcoholic beverage? Because I know certain places in Australia really don't like that shit. Well, at least they used to before I, you know, turned 18, right? You wouldn't let a 16-year-old sit at the bar is the point. But some other places, they didn't care as long as you went having a beer. I don't know. It's odd. And again, I believe I adequately explained this argument earlier in the episode, so I'm not going to fully, you know, repeat myself here. But essentially, Nina represents the younger Momoko, right? Like, it's almost like Momoko's having a discussion with herself, right? Why don't you care anymore? Why are you putting on this kind of nonchalant attitude about this all when you put your heart and soul into this band and it broke up, right? Why aren't you bitter about the new person? Again, part of that's Nina's personal bias, that's neither here nor there, but you should be bitter about somebody else singing your songs and profiting off of it, right? And again, beating some real answers through the fakeness here out of Momika is Nina's major goal here. I just want to get to the real you, you know? And continuing through the scene, we have an increasing kind of grip on the glass here, leading up to a splashing taking place, even Subaru getting in on the act as well by the very end. Just a nice build of tension there, kind of the gripping of the fist. I think that's pretty good. I'm going to continue to say it as well. Nina's a really fun main character because I think she's pretty frequently just wrong. She's pretty frequently just in the wrong and not doing the textbook correct thing that you should do. She feels real as a result. She feels like somebody I would know, right? That doesn't let shit go and is a little bit overbearing and sometimes a little bit overdramatic and that kind of stuff, right? Like, that's great. That's something that you don't see in many shows. A lot of people are perfect and a lot of characters are perfect. And seeing somebody like here Nina is like guilt tripping her. I guess you never cared about Diamond Dust and never pulled your soul into it. I cared about it more than you. That's why I'm caught up about it and you're not. Again, completely unfair thing to say and promptly gets the response it deserves. Momika rightfully slaps back here as well. The only reason you don't like it is because of the vocalist. That's what you've got a personal investment here. But again, Nina insists that it's about you and it's about what you want out of this thing and it's about me trying to get that out of you, you know? The conflict gets louder and louder and more intense and more intense, and I think Nina hits on something pretty real here, right? Why did you quit then, right? If change is inevitable and you knew that, then why did you quit? You clearly don't like the direction they're taking. You clearly stood up and needed to prove to other people that you weren't wrong. You clearly personify even now those same feelings that I feel and the same feelings expressed through your song. That's why you wrote it. That's why it felt so real, because you believe in those same things. And again, clawing that out of her, you know? Admit to yourself that what they are now is not diamond dust. Admit to yourself that you weren't wrong, and then the splash in the face. Momika's getting really, really upset now. Tells her to shut up, essentially. No, not when this band is so very important to me, and we get a little bit of a flashback here. It seems like Nina was getting bullied or chased by teachers or something, goes to the broadcast room, and literally plays that song for everybody to hear, right? Really, really cathartic scene. Literally a harmless prank as well. Just some good stuff. That song there changed my life. Therefore, I feel the same way you do about it. The same protectiveness, that same glass kind of splash, right? That's why I don't want you to lose, right? It's so very important to me and my struggle that you losing here and now, same as the first episode, means that I will lose and fail as well, which I don't want to do. So again, that's why I feel passionately. Again, we got that through the first episode too, I think. I don't want to see you continue to lie to yourself. And then we finally crack Momika as well, right? Do you know what Diamond Dust's goal was back then? To keep playing when we were old ladies. Now I feel like I've betrayed them and feel guilty because of it. It wasn't about the music or the direction or anything else. It was about us. It was about the band. And seeing that falling apart in front of me, and me being the reason for that quote-unquote is terrible. I never want to think about that ever again. You're shutting yourself off. The rest of the bandmates probably did have a good point as well. Just be patient, do the mainstream stuff, get that out of the way, then later on we can do what we want to do. Once we get a name for ourselves. That's probably correct. But I still quit. Ultimately, I couldn't really get over it, I guess. Again, we never really get into the bottom of this. It seems to be that you didn't want to play mainstream type music. Which, I don't know, we'll say. Well, again, we'll get extrapolated upon more, I'm sure. Still I like you, still I like your music, because the one who moved me was Diamond Dust from back then. The I like you and the I like your music, big Liz and the Bluebird vibes, if you know, you know. But yeah, it's a kind of fun reversal of the whole kind of acting confession thing from episode 4 as well. I think it's a pretty fun flip. And then again, these two big old stubborn tsunderes get over each other and again say their true feelings, and it's all very sweet and stuff, leading to them drinking through the night. I'm sure the girls had a couple beverages as well. And yeah, we're dragging her home. She's had more than a couple, that being Momika. And yeah, to bring the episode full circle here, we get a little bit of a I would say a drunken apology from you and a cuddle. It's a nice end to the scene, right? They clearly just both care about each other and just do it in the most insufferable way possible in public spaces. I don't know. Again, it works as a writing choice. So I think I missed this in the reaction as well. They've chosen the outfits that they're going to wear for the live performance, and I think they all have different characters on them that represent different things, right? We saw Momika's pretty clearly, but we didn't see the other girls, I think. But again, specifically, like I've been saying, you're the vocalist, you're the funnel by which the rest of the emotions of the band are put through. Now, again, there's a lot of emotions in this band, as we've seen over these 2 episodes. Let's do a cathartic performance to try to channel those emotions and get some, joy out of it, I guess. And I feel like I'm missing some context here, but she overhears some, sports guys that are like, we need to really make a mark in next year's competition. Potentially there's something with sports in Japan by which they put characters certain words on their chest and on their shirts, and they use that somehow. I think that's the connection she's making, to treat this performance much like a sports meet or something to that effect, taking that kind of competitive energy. We must remember that now they're advertising this event with Diamond Dust's name. You're going to get Diamond Dust fans to the event. Therefore, I want to show them the real shit. I want to show them how much better I am than the other group, getting a real kind of competitive edge to it as well. It's also a really fun intersection of, it's a cheap outfit as well, so we've spent a lot of the episode talking about money as well, so that's a fun kind of full circle on that concept too. It's also a bit of a fun reversal from the last performance as well. We've prepared a costume ahead of time for you, like you guys prepared a costume ahead of time for Nina, right? It's a fun bit of comeuppance there. Is this guy going to be a character? He's insufferable. He's just, no offense, but I don't vibe with girl bands. I like boys. Shut up. Where again, I'm going to repeat myself. This whole episode, I was feeling this kind of competition between mainstream music and real music, and that guy kind of doubting us, right? If you're bringing a bunch of Diamond Dust fans here as well, you must be like mainstream idol crap, and I'm like the real band guy. I'm cool. So that's why I thought this performance was going to shred. In reality, it just sounded like all their other songs, which are still rock, but they're not crazy hard or anything. We really emphasize this theme right before the performance as well, of leaving our mark. Like your song has left a mark on me, it ripped my heart out is the specific language here, but leaving a mark like this is going to hurt, leaving a mark like stamping our mark on the scene, like it works on multiple levels, I would say. We also want to leave an indelible mark on all these fans down here, all these Diamond Dust dorks that we want to convert to our site. We want to, make our case here that we're better. And of course, saying fuck the system in the process too. Fuck the haters, fuck everybody that doubts us, all that kind of shit. So again, I'm not a Japanese reader, but it's luckily enough, it's translated for me. It says liar. I don't know why I missed that. So you're the liar, which makes sense with the whole acting kind of conceit that we've had with you. You're currently lying to your grandmother while simultaneously lying to us, saying that you're going to quit the band, but you're not going to quit the band, but you're also not going to be an actress. But yeah, again, that fits for you as a character, I would say. Mischievous, often tricky, putting on different masks for different people. The symbol here, we're translating it as withdrew. Like you withdrew from the group. I'm the outcast, I guess. But maybe a more direct Japanese translation is needed. And your shirt says truant, right? Specifically here, this being kind of a fuck you to the girl that you used to be at school with, the one that's the lead singer of Diamond Dust now. I was only a truant insofar as you didn't support me, so I felt like I was isolated at school, so I needed to be. And again, I'm now reclaiming that title and gaining kind of strength from it. I'm going to bear it all. This is what I think. This is what has left a mark on me. I'm reclaiming all these negative emotions that people say about me and funneling it into some new stuff. I think that's, again, what we're getting at. It's pretty obvious. But again, that kind of straightforward, competitive, almost sports anime type spirit to it all is also appreciated. Let's do the lyrics first. What do we find at the constantly flowing intersection? Always talking about a crossroads or an intersection. Maybe it's a fun reflection upon that song that Diamond Dust was singing. Hollow words shaving each other down, a fallen shooting star would blow it all away. And that focus on Momika for that line as well. Well, we couldn't change anything at all. We pretend not to know, so our hands stay clean. In the corners of the eyes, we crumble to pieces. We pretend not to notice. We pretend not to hear. Look, it's passing us by. The city flows down a whirlpool of truth. Where should we float to? I don't know. Again, it's kind of like It's all the themes of everything these 2 episodes coming to fore in the lyrics. Pretty directly, I would say, too. If we can smile when we arrive, then let's hold hands. It's not a dream we finally notice after they've turned to ashes. Our wishes never reach this ever-changing world. What should we come up with? And then kind of rocking out here. What should we raise? Will I be able to meet you before everything ends? Which maybe be talking forward as well to potentially some people in the audience which may be joining the band. Will I be able to meet you before everything ends? Those people, there, right as we said that line. Again, big K-On! Vibes. If you know, you know. Little Azusa over here. Let's draw it out, hitting that big note there and closing out our performance for today. Again, no, it goes kind of hard. The drums are hard, more prominent guitar. Maybe they need a stronger band presence, maybe a bassist and a keyboardist to make their whole sound feel a bit fuller. I don't know, something like that. For the performance itself, it's appropriately colourful, much like the previous performances. Nothing crazy going on visually like the one where there's kind of all these different versions of Nina in that costume from episode 3. It's a little bit more straightforward in that regard, but I think the straightforward message of the song also matches with the visuals in that regard. Animation's still on point. I would imagine that this is the kind of thing that would get separated for YouTube again. And again, maybe a little bit uncanny valley with some of these movements in the performance, but they're still good. It's good animation, clearly. And shoutouts, of course, to our little friend in the crowd here. Where is she? Right there. Yeah, from school. She finally came along. She didn't bring any friends because she wasn't allowed to because she needed to pay up, essentially. But she still came along. Nice vibe. And again, as I said, those other 2 characters clearly going to join us very, very soon. Yeah, those 2. See you soon, guys. But again, we essentially close out the episode there, and VLC has decided to crash, so we're probably gonna end it right there, I think. Yeah, I'm hotter on the 2 episodes after finishing that analysis, but they still feel kind of weird. I don't know, especially that decision at the end of episode 4. Just doesn't sit right with me. Why are we just pushing it down the line? I don't see how that thematically makes sense unless there's more stuff there for Nina in the future, which makes her decision there make a bit more sense, I guess. Or I'm missing something, which is entirely possible too, because I'm not perfect, much to popular belief. But yeah, we'll do more next week. Hopefully I get to meet the characters. I want to meet the characters. Can we meet the characters? That'd be great. But yeah, strong show, clearly. Again, people like her for a reason and they're not wrong. But Patreon, if you want those episodes 1 week early, if you're really hankering for the next upload, you can go and access that there. Discord, if you want to say why I'm wrong about the show. And like the video and subscribe right now or I'll kill you. Yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for watching. I don't know why my camera just changed brightness, but goodbye. I'll catch you next week. See ya.